경기장 도시형.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so here we go. It is time for game number 2 between Alternate Attacks and Team Acer. In the bottom right-hand corner of Calm Before the Storm, we have from Team aTn.Socke. He is our yellow Protoss player. And his opponent in the bottom left-hand corner, he is our red Acer.Nerchio, an incredibly good Zerg player. And actually going to be, well, speaking of Nerchio, and we were, he is actually going to be Mana's next opponent in Fight Club for this Saturday.
Yeah,
so
that's right. That'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, Mana versus Nerchio with $500 on the line.
Yeah, Mana taking out Slayer's Ganji. Pretty good move there. I mean, it's a tough opponent going up against a Code S Terran player, but he did it. He beat him. And I believe that went all the way to game 9, didn't it?
Yeah, it was
right?
really ridiculous.
Great series.
The Mana jumped out 3-0, and then Ganji came right back with 4 games in a row to put him on the brink, and then Mana won the last 2 games, I believe is the way it ended up.
Very impressive series, yeah.
Got pretty ridiculous, pretty close there.
Yep. So here we are on Calm Before the Storm with this Protoss versus Zerg matchup. Socke looks like he's going to either be doing a Nexus first or a Forge Expand, one of the two. And it looks like it's going to be a hatch for some Nerchio. It's interesting. We've been seeing a lot more hatchery first builds from Zerg players. And, you know, there was a time not too long ago where Zergs would have been absolutely terrified. Oh, he's not going hatch first. Never mind, it's going to be pool first. We are still in a time currently where Zergs are terrified to go up against hatch first against Protoss. It's a little bit risky, but we still, what I was going to say is we see more Zerg players doing it.
Well, you see
than
more
we have before.
I try to do this thing where I don't interrupt you. What I'm trying to do is like anticipate the end of the sentence so you don't have that weird delay when you're broadcasting. It's a technique you learn when you broadcast.
Sure.
So trying to like jump in there at the perfect time, and that sentence went 3 words longer than I had anticipated. So don't know you quite well enough.
It's not.
Mr. Longquist.
Oh,
anyway.
well, just talk about Star Wars more. That'll work.
Anyway, but the point I was going to make was that you have more players nowadays of the Protoss and Terran variety that are going, as we see here, command structure first, or just very, very fast expansions. The maps are larger than ever as well. It's a lot safer for Zerg players to not worry about hatchery blocks or, you know, anything impeding their progress, especially on this map, where it's just as fine for Zerg players to go after this base outside of the main as well as it is for the one that's inside.
Double Evo chamber trick just to get out a queen. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that was
I like that.
Interesting.
That's a neat little technique that Nerchio just showed us there. Get that extra 2 supply to start that queen.
And does get it out nice and early, man. You do finish up that queen and get the other one in perfect time to... Wow, I mean, pretty much all the timings of this kind of work out pretty well, especially with those earlier 4 links that are making their way across, and Socke's forced to full wall this with a pylon.
Yeah, I guess we are not going to see a Forge Expand. It's going to be instead a Gateway and Forge Expand, which is kind of interesting. Uh-oh, we had to cancel the pylon, though. Some Zerglings getting in. They're not going to do a lot of damage, but they are going to see absolutely everything that Socke has right now.
Pulled some units off the line, forced the pylon to be built, an additional 25 resources to be canceled. So, wow, killing a probe is just added bonus. I mean, killing a probe, forcing the 25 minerals off. Socke's not started mining fully on gas once again. He has done more than that cost in damage in Zerglings.
Icing on the creepy cake. That's what that is. Because, I mean, it's Zerg. They got to have kind of a creepy cake. It's not going to be like a normal, you know, Black Forest chocolate cake or something like that. I don't know.
Black Forest chocolate cake.
That'd be good, man. I like the dark chocolate.
That's a Homer, like, going on here. Anyway.
Kind of sound like an Overlord, too, there.
Let's see here. That was a terrible Overlord impression. Anyway.
It was like if there was a Muppet Overlord, maybe that's what it sounded like.
That's like a combination of the Swedish Chef and an Overlord.
After he becomes infested, I guess. Yeah.
Imagining an Overlord with a Swedish Chef hat. So we have third hatchery coming out now for Nerchio. He had actually not started gas yet. Now double gassing. Now he's going to have to go up against and expand into Stargate builds out of Socke.
Yep. Yes, indeed. It will be a Stargate. But I'm a little bit concerned whether or not Socke will actually really be able to do any damage with this. I think Nerchio is going to be pretty well prepared. We'll have to see. I don't know. It's a situation where Nerchio, you know, I think he has enough queens here that if Socke goes for the typical like 1 Void Ray and a couple Phoenixes, he should be okay. Oh, I like that though. Just sending in a Zealot just to kind of be annoying. Couple Zealots there. He's going to cause a cancel on that Spine Crawler.
Ooh,
no, he doesn't cancel it. This is such a great little move by Socke. He's basically shutting down an entire base, doing some damage. Very nice little move.
Here's another cute little benefit of this. Yes, he's going to kill a couple of units. Yes, he's eventually going to get driven off, but he just forced 18 lings out of Nerchio, and that's resources that should have been used to put up an evolution chamber, a few more drones, and possibly another queen to add in the defense as well. And all of a sudden, this anti-air defense is not going to be as great, and a queen may go down. No, gets away with 19 points of health.
And it looks like it also distracted him enough that Nerchio is now pretty badly supply blocked, just starting an overlord right now. So that's going to be that's going to mean that those queens are not out in time to really handle this Void Ray if he sends it right away. So yeah, the combination of the little poke plus the Void Ray might end up doing some damage, and a second Stargate being added. He is really going to go all the way with this Stargate tech, it looks like.
Okay, well, we'll find out, wow, how much of this he is actually going to do. He has a Forge up, so he could do something akin to that Void Ray Zealot attack, but of course with the second Stargate out there and a Robo now, this is something much different altogether.
Yeah, it's a lot of Zerglings. He might just be able to brute force his way in there. Is he can use a force field? Nope, the Void Ray pops out just in time to push those back.
And once again, Nerchio is actually supply blocked. Okay, finishes up an Overlord right away so he can actually start. He did start an Evolution Chamber, but he can start another Queen here.
Yeah, he just started it right now. He had no idea that there was Stargate tech coming until he saw that Void Ray. And I don't know if he has quite enough to hold this off. I mean, he's got, well, at least hold it off and not take a lot of damage. We'll
right,
have to see.
understand.
Because, I don't know. I mean, there's one Void Ray there, another one being made at the moment.
And it looks like this queen is going to fall very quickly. Are there any coming in to reinforce? Yes, there's one. Yep. This Void Ray is going to have to back away here in just a bit.
He's going to want to pull that back. Second Void Ray coming in right now.
Yeah.
He really should pull that Void Ray back. There's no reason to let it take so much damage.
And it looks like this hurt one is actually going to die.
Seriously?
Bye-bye.
Oh, that was just bad.
All right.
Yeah, you killed the queen, but
he's killed two queens so far. May get a third here in a second, but this Spore Crawler is going to pick up in just a couple of seconds. And
yeah,
there
I mean,
it goes.
He killed two queens, but how bad is that really for Nerchio? I mean, here comes another Void Ray. So yeah, Socke obviously with two Stargates is going to really put a lot into this.
Yes.
Spire is on the way too. Interesting that the Spire will be going up a little bit after the Phoenix count is getting up. That's going to make it tough for Nerchio to produce enough mutas to kind of handle this. He's going to have to make some Corruptors as well.
It is, but you know what? Socke is investing in so much tech and just stuff off of two bases right now. Look at this Templar tech being added in as well, along with War Prism. So, I mean, the fact that he's sitting on so many air units and so little ground forces, plus the fact that Nerchio is moving to his fourth base at the same time, this all adds up to Nerchio probably being able to pull this off, honestly.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, there's probably going to be a lot of game left here. It's not going to be over.
Oh, sure, of course,
for a while yet. But I don't know. I really think that Socke could have gotten by without letting that Void Ray die. You know, he should really have 3 Void Rays at this point. That would make a pretty big difference. You know, because he has 2 Stargates, he's putting a lot into this air tech. He might still be able to do a decent amount. 4 queens, though, for Nerchio. None of them getting lifted, and the Spore Crawlers. I don't know, man. I mean, those Phoenixes are taking some damage. He does deny the gas, but can Socke really do a lot of significant damage with this?
And that Warp Prism could actually go down very quickly. There, a couple of queens do get picked off. The Warp Prism's going to need to drop down. Hopefully it can start doing a little bit of damage to the Spore Crawlers, but now we have Corruptors involved as well, and Corruptors make things, this a different game altogether. Yes, he's going to kill that front line there, but as Corruptors start to flood in, they become very, very cost-effective against the Air Force that Socke has out.
Charged Void Rays do pretty well against Corruptors. He did kill 2 of them right there, but now it is done. And yeah, Socke is still sticking with Stargate tech, getting Storm as well. Nice, force field there.
Yeah, definitely. Has quite a bit of energy left as well. So these Zealots actually could get a pretty good engagement or just take out the drones, which is what I assumed was going to happen. He was going to try and trap a couple of drones in there.
I don't really know what he was doing. I mean, he could have been attacking Hatchery during that period of time too. And at this point, I don't think this is going to really do a whole ton of damage unless he's planning on warping in some more units here.
Right. No, I don't either. And the fact that the Warp Prism's gone now means those sentries are going to die. We do have those Corruptors making their way out and starting to pick off the Phoenixes. They're actually getting pretty low in health. A bunch of Templar up now, so we are going to see an Archon switch. Storm is on the way in addition.
Yep, that's right. But just creating a couple Archons to stay safe. I mean, Socke knows he's going to kind of have to stay on the defensive now. I like that he's decided to just send his Phoenixes kind of scouting around the map, looking for more bases. It's definitely what you want to do in a situation like this. But those Corruptors are really, really going to be able to bully those Phoenixes around the map. And I don't know, is he going to get a cancel on this third? It looks like he might.
All right, we'll see if that Nexus is going to go down here in just a second. The Archons actually can't make their way out. I think there was too small of a space.
Yeah, they're stuck.
Oh, no.
Oh, man.
That is so bad for Socke right now. He's trying to run back to his existing Archons, and that's actually going to work out pretty well for him. He'll lose the one up at the front. These other two, though, have done quite a bit of splash damage to the units on the ground. He needs to go after, well, yep, he was researching weapons upgrades, so he needs to go after the gateway, unfortunately.
Yeah, Socke is way behind now. His third had to be canceled. He's not going to be able to take it again for a little while. He's still got these Phoenixes, but they're not in a position to do any sort of huge lasting damage. I mean, yeah, he kills a couple drones here and there, but Nerchio is going to just be able to keep remaking those pretty quickly.
And let's see here. Here comes another Warp Prism. And looks like Nerchio's already on top of that. No problem.
Yep. And he's actually going to warp in. Okay, yeah, I was going to say that's not really the right decision. Loses the Warp Prism. Socke just falling apart right now. Yeah,
this is not looking good for him. He's down by 60 supply. Looked very, very good in game number 1 in that PvP, but this game not working out quite so well. Of course, he's been on 2 bases the entire time, this whole 15 minutes. As you can see, minerals are starting to get low everywhere, too, so he's going to be starved. Even if he holds off a couple waves of attacks out of Nerchio, he's just going to be starved out of this game very quickly.
Yeah, this attack I don't think is going to do terribly well for Nerchio. He can kill these units, but he's going to lose quite a bit. But he's definitely got a lot of reinforcements coming, so he could still continue to push. That's a lot of cannons warping in right now, though, for Socke. If those finish, Nerchio's definitely going to need to turn around.
All right, here come the Archons now, just trying to buy a little bit of time. Of course, Archons dealing splash damage are actually very, very good against roaches. There we go. There's a storm that hits, and now all the cannons are warping in. Actually, every cannon surviving so far. That one is down to 6 hit points.
Wow.
Now finally dying, but the first run of units was killed.
That's a lot of roaches, too, coming in for Nerchio. And he might be able to power through this, but yeah, it's just not quite enough. He is going to have to pull back, losing a lot of Corruptors there as well. And, you know, there's really no reason for Nerchio to push this really, really hard until he has a bigger army. He can kind of take a little bit of time and max out. He's almost at 200 supply, so I think when he is, he's going to be kind of able to go and roll over Socke.
And we do have Greater Spire being thrown in now, so he'll move into Broodlords in just a bit. That was a lot of Photon Cannons. Here come the Zerglings rushing in. Archon taking quite a bit of damage up at the top. Now finally a little bit of a chink in the armor is exposed as a couple of Roaches are getting over to the top. There's our Infested Terrans I was looking for. And, yep, looks like Socke is being pushed back at the moment, now down 70 supply.
That's going to be about it. There's not a whole lot Socke can do to stay in this game. He's still got some Phoenixes around, but they're going to be chased by the Corruptors. He can't get too close to the Infestors, or he's going to get fungal growth.
Right. Yep. And, poor Socke, unfortunately. This Immortal sitting on the high ground, trying to do so much. 6 kills, but it's going to die. There it goes. Phoenix is trying to do whatever they can to keep Socke in the game, but he's so far back now, and it's not like he's putting on any pressure at any of the other bases for Nerchio.
Yeah, absolutely. The probes are still mining, though, for Socke. Not a lot of economic damage done quite yet for this. He hasn't quite gotten behind the mineral line as such. And, you know, Nerchio knows that he might not be able to end the game with this push, too. If you look at the production queue, you know, he's doing Greater Spire, he's making more stuff. He's not kind of all in with this quite yet.
No. But Socke just doesn't really have anything on the ground right now. Finally, Immortal on the high ground. That's going to secure the ramp for him for a couple of seconds. Maybe that'll be enough for the Photon Cannons to come up. I think that's what he's waiting on right now, but they're still just, oh my god. Immortal falls, there it goes.
It's not quite complexity RSVP levels of cannons or expansions, but it's a good amount. But in this case, not quite enough. Socke kind of fighting an uphill battle, and I think he's just going to kind of roll right back down again. Yeah,
it looks like Acer's going to take a game here, though, so it is going to be 1-to-1 all tied up as, Nerchio is expanding all over the place right now. He's up by 140 supply. Socke just not really able to produce anything else. GG has been called, and Nerchio has taken a game, so we're 1-to-1.